Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's extremely high quality and professional broadcast of the Scuttle Crab Draft League. Uh, I am not a producer, but I'm here anyways, trying to make it happen. So if you see things moving around, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm Becky Rita. Joining me on the cast is uh, Celestial Shrimp. I guess I should have asked if you have a preference for what I should call you here before we started. I didn't think about it. But
Yeah, it's okay. You can call me Solomon.
all
Solomon.
right. Excelente. All right, Solomon, how are we feeling tonight? Are you ready to see some high quality exhibition gaming?
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
know a few of the players on these teams, and I'm excited to see some of these matchups.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting players here. Some I'll say for I've been in a few different draft leagues, kind of just jumping around, uh, but there are a lot of names I don't recognize, which is always nice to see. Uh, you can only watch so many of the same players so many times. It starts to get a little predictable after a while. So let's see if the Raptors and Wolves can do something that's maybe a little bit unpredictable here. Raptors led by Lest Force. The Wolves are captained. Let me scroll up. They're captained by Duolingo Owl, two powerful gamers who are sure to leave it all on the Rift. And we've got maybe a composition that is a little bit boring on the side of the Raptors. No disrespect, of course, but it is certainly a bit of a snoozer.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. That could be a Morgana mid for Murdervox. Uh, I heard Morgana's pretty strong right now.
Yeah, I know they buffed Morgana in a lot of weird ways, and also her items, and also just everything about the champion. So I'm sure it's going to be just fantastic to see where this champion goes. The Nautilus will be picked up as well. They did make some Nautilus jungle changes, but I think nobody is stupid enough to actually play it. Uh, but we could see it's not impossible. It is still technically a flex. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's technically a flex.
That is true, and the Jax is a flex also. A little three-way flex going on. Or I guess two ways.
That is true, yeah. Yakes is can go into a couple of different roles. The Kaisa technically is I've seen Kaisa go mid, but I'm pretty sure that's just like cope.
It could be. Dinner is an ADC main and does play a fair bit of Kaisa.
I see, I see.
Could be, could be.
Hmm. That could be interesting. I have my doubts, but I think it could be funny. And really that's what exhibitions are all about, is just being funny. And both of these teams are deciding to play seriously. How dare you? This is a hold up. Hold up. Is that her bed? Is this is bait? This is probably
Yeah.
bait. You can't get me.
Yes, gotta be.
Can't get me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. I'm going to bed, buddy. See you later. Smudler.
Yeah, that's probably Smolder mid, I imagine. I mean, I guess they could flex it still.
Yeah, Smolder is a champion. There are some matchups in top lane where Smolder can make it work, but I think because we have the mid laner playing 80 carries, that little flexible option with the Kaisa and Smudler is going to be a little interesting. I'm curious to see what they'll do with the is Nocturne. Nocturne following up on the snares and roots. and Ashe ultis. I mean, if I'm Nocturne this game, I'm rubbing my hands together. I'm ready to get 17 kills by the end of the game and be completely useless after 35 minutes. So, you know, we just have to not get there. That's the strategy.
That is true, and a Mordekaiser for Vacant, that's one of the signature picks. Be pretty strong. I will say for the Nocturne, if Nocturne doesn't get ahead, could just end up getting blown up by Smolder Kaisa.
That is,
It is
yeah.
gonna be a Jungle Jax, most likely too.
Ooh, yeah. That Scion's like the big man right now. I know he's been like the biggest, one of the biggest worlds picks. So
Yeah.
not too surprising to see that being hovered, but the lock from the Pantheon here, that indicates that it will be the Yac-S top into the Mordekaiser, which I think is fine. I think that's workable.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the worst. You get the Pantheon jungle to try to be able to follow up on Nocturnals, but it's kind of hard to ult with Pantheon when the lights are out.
Yeah, it'll require good communication from the team to just be like, I'm getting jumped, please help me. And then theoretically as Pantheon, you can follow that up. But, you know, there's still a bit of that time delay because Nocturne ulti goes way faster than Grand Skyfall. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, although they are... Unless they were out of order, it looks like it's actually Pantheon top, and it has been Pantheon top the whole time. This is our counterpick to Mordekaiser? Is this a joke? Are we having a laugh?
Yeah, I don't know about the Pantheon into Mordekaiser, but I'll say the Jax and the Nocturne's not bad, so I guess maybe it's more for that instead of the top, but yeah, and it is Smolder mid too, which kind of makes sense. Kind of hard for Morgana to really ever threaten the Smolder.
Yep. All right, so here in game one, I'm curious your thoughts. Which comp is going to be taking it all the way?
That's a great question. I'm gonna go with the scaling of the wolves.
I think that's smart.
Did they get out of order again? Oh, it has to be out of order.
Yeah, it shuffles. It's blind. Okay. It's custom game client. You know, the technology's not there. All right.
Yeah.
Now, so we'll have to adjust some stuff more than likely, and by we I mean I. But yeah, no, I would agree. I think the Raptors have a really strong, like, early to mid game kind of composition where it's extremely dangerous, and if they can get Ashe and Nocturne both going quickly enough, they can outpace the Wolves before Kaisa and Smudler and Jax all start hitting those item breakpoints. But I just feel like scaling is always safer. The only doubt I have is the Wolves don't necessarily have a lot of good peel. They have Nautilus exactly, and like Pantheon stun, but otherwise their peel is a bit not good. So Smudler and Kaisa, they're gonna have to just like kill Nocturne before he kills them. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Yep. So with that said, we're gonna go to a quick short break while we wait for the spectator delay. We'll be back in on the Rift in just a couple minutes. All right, everybody, welcome here on to the Rift
Oof.
for, oh my goodness, we're starting big already as Morgana has just wandered into Nautilus in mid lane, and now Yakes is going to be going for a little bit of a scuffle here as the Nocturne is going to get very low. Jack's low as well. Less force! A little bit of a fading auto attack there. Will get out of there, and right out the gate, our two teams have decided that they have chosen violence.
Yeah, insta flashes onto the Morgana, walking down mid lane, caught him out, and then Lessforce with a bit of an outplay there, flashing into the bush, making Jax lose the vision there, able to pick up the kill. So it ends up being fairly even. They did get the Wolves did get the first blood gold, but pretty negligible.
Yeah, a little very negligible for sure. If anything, it just kind of hurts the pride of Murder Vox on this Morgana in mid.
Yeah, I guess a little bit interesting to note. The kills went onto both junglers, and
Ooh.
they opted on one opted on boost, and the other opted on a dagger. So one will have a little bit faster clear. One will be able to gank slightly better.
Yeah. It should also be noted that Coach Pizza did have to burn Flash for that, so no Flash on Nautilus in bot lane is going to make Ashe feel a little bit safer down here. It's going to help Maokai out as well, since his laning is not the best as support. Meanwhile, Duolingo Owl, okay, we do have the engage right here, as looks like Clue is going to try and make something happen on to this Maokai, but going to get burned down. Ignite ticking. Health Pot trying to fire back. The firing back is going to come from Dira, though, who takes down Coach Pizza, but there's going to be no HP left, as Red Team has already claimed the feats of warfare, as Ruffian picks up a doubler.
Yeah, I think that just ends up to Nautilus just being a better champ than Maokai, because they had the health advantage and got level 2 first, but just didn't really matter much in the end, as the Wolves come out 2-1 on that.
Yeah, very good stuff from the Wolves. Ruffian and Coach Pizza to play that one out. I will say that was an engage, very pretty ambitious from Clue there to go for that engage at level 2. Especially into the Kaisa Nautilus, where I feel like Kaisa is way more. I know level 1 Ashe is extremely dangerous, but once Kaisa gets a couple spells, I feel like it's pretty tough for her. Speaking of tough, David S. Kalb is going to try and take Vacant Tech down up here. Just going to chunk out the HP of the Mordekaiser, both on no pots and no mana in on the mid lane. This Morgana not doing so hot right now.
Yeah, it's pretty well played by David there, blocking the Mordekaiser Q, getting the favorable trade. Kind of ends up equalizing with the minion damage, and then yeah, Murdervox is trying to do what they can, pushing in the Smolder, but I don't think it's going to matter much. Smolder's just going to be able to farm for free.
Yeah. Looks
Jax
like we
might
have,
be in trouble.
Yeah, Jax is a little bit in a precarious situation. Can we land one Q? No, we cannot. Jax is out of danger there with the Ward Hop. And Murdervox is once again sitting at negative mana. Does have the TP, so can look to take that, but it's going to be a really tough recall if you have to take that here. And I think Dinner's doing a good job just trying to keep Morgana pinned in this lane for as long as possible, because Morgana is, without mana, is going to have a little bit of trouble actually CSing. It's just going to be cannon fodder for the Smudler.
Yep, and the Smolder's just going to be able to get free stacks the whole time. And that's really all Smolder wants here. Trying to push them out of the cannon.
Yep. All right. Murdervox did find an opportunity to recall, which is good. Clue taking 1 million damage down here. That is not ideal for the Maokai. Does have that healing on the sap magic in his passive, but it's gonna be, we're gonna be drinking some potions for a little while here. And Coach Pizza and Ruffian looking very healthy right now. Flash is back up on the Nautilus.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think this is gonna get much better for the Maokai Ashe until at least 6 maybe, but I think there's gonna have to be some Nocturne help if it's gonna get any better. They have been CSing well though, so still pretty even in that department.
Yeah, saw ping go down in the blue side jungle, trying to just keep track of where this Nocturne might be. He will walk on a ward, so they will get some info on that. We got an engage. Clue gonna knock him back with the Aftershock, getting a little bit tanky here. Flash gonna come out from Coach Pizza, who flashes for the psychic damage as Ruffian is on a killing spree right now. Deer gonna try and trade back here. The volley arrows get blocked as Ruffian's gonna take another one down. Those void-seeking missiles gonna claim another doubler.
Yeah, that Nahus Maokai matchup was looking a bit miserable for Maokai.
Yep.
Not looking like they can do much.
Okay. Vacant Tech.
Ulti.
Yeah, Vacant Tech taking David into the realm, missing the obliterate there. Does have the big shield though, and the big burn coming down. I think David's just fancy footwork. Gonna try and trade back as much as possible. Got the Fury there, but no spells in rotation. And Vacant Tech will claim one. Clue's gonna go in on the mid lane right now. Dinner does have the flash. Here comes the paranoia, but this Smuddler is under tower. Less Force is gonna drop. Mom has bailed out Dinner in the mid lane. That was a failure of a dive.
Yeah, unfortunately Morgana had already burned everything, so is not offering a whole lot. Maokai already burned everything.
All right, we don't need to talk about that.
Okay. I mean, got the flash from Morgana, so not wasted.
That is actually true. I feel like it is definitely scary, but you could probably just like walk a little bit further back, throw the binding, and just pretend that he's not there. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's maybe other things happening. Dira gets slammed in the head. Cranium being caved in by the Yakes. 1 kill in the pocket of Duolingo Owl right now. As they're going to start up the Drake, and this Nocturne is quickly falling behind here on tempo. One of the rules of Nocturne, as I'll wait to talk about that until we see the result of this. Yep, no firing back there. One of the rules of Nocturne, as I'm sure you're all aware, is that your first gank needs to succeed. If it does not work and you don't start stacking, you don't start getting that gold, start getting items, it's very dire. It's not good. As Coach Pizza gonna find Murder Vox just wandering into 3 people. Unforced error right there, as Murder Vox will drop. And that's going to be another major objective going over to the side of the Wolves.
Yeah, mind the check Murder Vox's E key there. Never spell shielded anything there, and I don't know, might not know how that ability works.
That is
for
true.
the Pantheon gank too.
Yeah, that
Steal?
is true. Okay, we die here, but I think that that's what we call in the business worth it.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
Oh no, this is not worth it.
I don't know about for less force.
Oh no, yeah, less force is toast.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's gonna be the
flash.
death charge. Turn in the lights out just to go to bed faster, as less force will not just die but also burn that coveted, very important paranoia cooldown for absolutely no reason, as that's warded. You just walked into that guy. I guess it doesn't matter though, as Coach Pizza is right here. David Kalb is going to drop there. This actually could be a win for the Mordekaiser right now, waiting for that obliterate. Does not have the heal going, does not have that cooldown up. So close on the bot side here. Dira's going to try and just get a couple more autos to fire that one out, but does not have the money to make it work. Flash and Cleanse now both burned. Clue going to be the target here, but Clue will have saved Dira's life. Some's burnt on both sides of the bot lane.
Yeah, for that top play, Duolingo didn't have that flash. That would have been a clean double, maybe even a triple kill, honestly. And then yeah, Ruffian just putting out the business there, just 1v2, Cairn World, blowing both of Ash's sums.
it's real rough. It's real rough for the Ashe here, especially because the Kai'Sa got some early kills. As Murder Vox is gonna walk into melee range and be just killed, just killed to death by the Smuggler. As it turns out, Smolder does physical damage.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't gonna get better, unfortunately. Just the Wolves are winning pretty much every lane, really except for top. But I don't think Vicatech's gonna be able to 1v5 this one.
Yeah, I don't know if Mordekaiser has the juice in him to make it happen. It's just not the champion. Mordekaiser is a great 1v1 champion. He does that. He pulls them into the realm. But if your 4 guys are worse than their 4 guys, you are always going to just lose. You're going to come out of the Death Realm with no friends left and just confused, as Less Force is going to try and make something happen on top side here. Does look pretty promising, though, as David's going to get pulled back. Does have the flash, but decides to save it, knowing they're kind of just dead to rights right there. And that's going to be another one in the pocket of Vacant Tech.
Yeah, so the Chickens are getting themselves a win con here, but if this keeps going on like it is, it could be rough.
Yeah, Dinner is on a rampage right now. Less Force is going to try and save. Will avenge Merger Vox in the mid lane. In the bot lane, though, they get another kill onto Dira and send Clue running to the hills. Less Force is very dead, I think. Nope, never mind. We missed the stun. The slowing smite is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's if it keeps up like this, the Smoldering Kites are gonna get pretty quickly to the point they can just 1v1 the Mordekaiser anyway.
Yep.
With all their
Smuggler
mobility.
currently 100 stacks off at 124 right now. As I mean,
Yeah, that's
if you're Dira, you're kind of just like, you're not in the game anymore, I think, like emotionally. Like physically you're here, but you're thinking about like something else. you're on
least,
TikTok.
at least the Ashe isn't worth much gold, so at least they you know, the deaths aren't helping that much for the Wolves besides I guess the mental battle.
Yep, we do have Cleo going to go for another dive here onto Dinner. Mom's going to get called, but she will not save you this time. Clue going to get that one. That is tragic, but still a kill nonetheless. Speaking of dragons dying, we have the Ocean Drake going over to Duolingo Owl on the side of the Wolves. Everything's still turning up red side this game, as Less Force is just going to try and emote here. Emote his way out.
Yeah, they're still down. The kills onto Dinner are nice, but you know they're still down 4k gold. That you know that only closes that's only closing the gap by a little bit. They gotta somehow get the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, they gotta try and get onto Kai'Sa. However, that may or may not be. At the very least, I will say, this Raptors team does have those good tools, those big ultimate abilities, but they're gonna have to take a coordinated effort and burn so many cooldowns just to get one guy. And that is if you don't end up dead before anything even happens, as Ruffian sends Clue back to the base. No mystery on that one. That's just a dead old tree, as Less Force is going to be forced out of the jungle here. Will at least spell shield to safety, as nothing is currently going well for the Raptors.
To be honest, I don't even know if that was worth the Jax flashing there for it. I guess
Psychic
just
damage.
The mental battle, yeah. Just getting any kind of edge of the opponent. I will say taking the blue in front of Less Force as a jungler, that is probably a million damage to the Psyche there.
It's true. It's true.
You
That's
hate
why.
to see it.
That's why you always throw your life away to secure the buff, because even if you die, you still feel like I did that. I secured my buff.
True.
I did my job. My
That's true,
whole
especially if you get a smite win.
all right. Win con detected.
Yep. Kaisa AFK.
Win,
4v5. Win con detected.
win con detected, y'all. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Vanguarded. That's good.
Ooh,
That's good
that's not
news. That's great news. All right. Well, we're gonna enjoy this pause here, as I'm gonna ask you, what are the angles that the Raptors have to get back into this game? What do the Raptors need to do to overcome the deficit they're in right now?
Honestly, it's what they've been doing. I mean, we saw it. They did it twice to dinner, catching dinner out solo in the mid lane. Might catch dinner out again here, but uh, they kind of got to do it to the Kai'Sa. They got to Kai'Sa or Jax. They got to collect some of these shutdowns and get the gold onto Ashe or Morgana. I don't think I don't think all the kills going to the Nocturne will help much.
All right, we are going
I got
back
nothing.
in. Good to know. Yeah, at this point, it really is like we gotta funnel some gold into this Ashe, who is so astronomically far behind. It's not funny. Oh, we're just gonna click.
Oof.
We're gonna click gold, and we're gonna get sad. I guess. Look,
Yeah.
the
Almost
state of
doubled.
things. The state of things
Yeah.
right here. It's not good, y'all.
Yeah. They gotta get some gold on the Ashe Morgana. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a Ashe is just gonna be. I guess Ashe is just CC bot at this point. She needs
Yeah.
to build support Ashe.
That's you see. That's actually the win. That's the new angle we take. Is we start funneling into the Nocturne and the Mordekaiser. Surely Mordekaiser will not abandon us using his ultimate ability as we lose 4v4. He would never do that. That'd be so rude of him.
It's true. I think Ashe just build full CDR, just ults down a lane, hit somebody, and then Nocturne cleans up the kill. I think that's the only way at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of the theory behind the comp in general, but theory and practice, two very different things, especially
Yeah.
in this particular game. The Less Force here, gonna try and move back into the jungle, but it's all warded up. Duolingo Owl taking as much as possible. At the very least, Less Force keeping up on CS, so not getting completely shut out of this game, as that's going to be a stun going down. That's going to be a CC chain, and good night to the Nocturne, who is seeing another gray screen, as no objectives are even up, so that's just a kill for the sake of killing another guy. We are going to try and do something with the Herald, though.
I was gonna say it should be a hero play at this point. You got a numbers advantage, and the Ashe Maokai aren't really gonna be able to do a whole lot. Could get 2 and some kills.
Yep, getting a freebie here. The trees will not survive this time. No second charge from the Herald, though. Will be denied by Merger Vox, but they do get that outer turret in mid. It's actually the first turret to drop this game. Oh, wait, no, bot lane turret drop. But it's another turret. Another turret going over to the side of the Wolves, who are still very, very dominant right now, but there are a lot of bounties available for the side of the Raptors if they can theoretically get something going.
Yeah, if they get an ace and a one of the bounty turrets there, I don't even think they'll evenly, but
Arrow?
they'll get close to it.
Oh, Wonder Shot.
Ooh,
Very
missed.
close, though.
Wow, very close. Good look for the top tower still though.
Yeah, I think you
Get a
just
little
take
bit of
it.
gold.
No one's up here. So, yeah, this is just going to be a freebie. Do they go for the kill, though? I don't think... I guess you do, because you might as well. He's up here. He's just waiting to be destroyed, as that's going to be a kill into the pocket of Less Force. Another kill into the Nocturne, as that's going to be a decent bounty picked up.
Yeah, eating into the gold a little bit. They got the tower also, so a little bit of gold there. Do lose third dragon though, and now they're gonna be on the timer to fight the next one in 5 minutes.
Yeah, they are on that timer. The
It's
soul,
kinda
the soul
deathwish,
is
but
approaching. As we do have, kind of just looking around here, TP coming in from Mordekaiser as Coach Pizza, I think, is just dead. So that's going to be one down.
Eventually.
That's a shutdown. So that's more gold
Yep.
into Less Force pocket. Getting some money into this Nocturne to try and give them a chance to insta-kill one of these powerful gamers in either Dinner or Ruffian. Stat check on the Smuddler, currently just about 25 off from big mode, so making good pace on that for sure. This Owl's in trouble, gonna be jumped on here. We'll have the flash, gonna try and get to Dinner right now, but the lights are currently off. Dinner unaware of exactly how many gamers are here, and that's gonna be the arrow! That is a perfect shot from Dira, claiming the life of Duolingo Owl. That's actually going to be huge because the Otacon is right there. It's going to be a fight right now as Ruffian's going to get jumped on the melee range. Kaisa goes very disastrously. Mom going to try and cut him off on the backside here, and Dinner as well. Going to pick up some delicious Dinner of his own as Coach Pizza's going to drop. Vacant Tech going to chunk out Dinner on the front side here. Fight is very split. We have David trying to just spear out these remaining Raptors, but Vacant Tech will claim another, and this is the angle the Raptors have been waiting for.
Yeah, they yeah, now the about 5.5K gold lead is now under 1K now. So the Raptors kind of back in it now. You know, the Wolves just had to not do what they did and go in one by one and get caught out. And the game wasn't free, but they're starting the Otacon now, and nobody from the Raptors are really around. Might get found out by the Mordekaiser, though.
Yeah, could be a problem if they do get spotted, and they will get spotted here, but they're... Oh, we do have TP. We have the Ashe, who does not have arrow and is very slow here. Nature's Grasp going to be going out right now. Duolingo Owl going to try and claim that one. Will claim the Otacon right now, but the rest of the Raptors have arrived. Paranoia is going to go out, but not going to be able to close the gap. The arrow goes down. Less Force able to get in on the fight. Dinner does have the Elder Burn ticking right now. Going to try and just win this one on the side. Untouched, unburdened. Will blast away the Raptors. But Vacant Tech remains alive, and there are enough down to keep the Raptors alive.
Yeah, I could see that that fight coming as a win for the Wolves once the Raptors start walking into that choke, and they just, you know, Duolingo getting a great stun, getting about 3 or 4 people there, and then the Smolder and Kaisa were just able to free hit onto them. Great fight from them, honestly, and getting the Otacon. So still, you know, the gold lead isn't huge like it was before, but they're as long as the Kaisa and Smolder are alive, then I think they win just pretty much every fight.
Yep, that's going to be their goal here, just to try and win out. If they can keep one of these 2 carries alive, they can definitely just easily win the fights. But I will say the Raptors have been doing a good job of at least getting one of them, so it's just going to be a matter of, do they have the ability to peel enough? Because if, say, one of them were to get caught before a fight, that makes the Raptors win a lot more promising. And I will say Vacant Tech is doing extremely well right now with the 8-1 on the Mordekaiser here on that signature pick, making the most of it. Pizza gonna get rooted here, but there's no follow-up, so he's just gonna be annoyed more than anything else. We have 20 seconds on this Drake. Everybody's getting around to it. Gonna see the Siege of the River by Clue. So the lights are gonna go out. We have found our target. Smuddler is in danger. It will not drop yet. The locket, not gonna be enough right now. Less Force gonna be extremely low. Clue's gonna be next as Ruffian's gonna be free firing, but Vacant Tech has found their mark. So this Mordekaiser are gonna be trying to save the world right now and may be able to do so. Fully stacked up, fully charged. That shield is crazy. Duolingo Owl not able to close the gap as Dira kites back excellently, and the Raptors find their win.
Yeah, this Kaisa needs an hourglass or something, because the Mordekaiser just one-shot him. They walked forward trying to get the finish off the kill on left force, which is good, but Smolder already dropping. Kaisa can't drop there. And that's why the fight lost, and another kill for Vacant. Dragon going over for the Raptors. Clean fight for them.
Yeah, this game has turned on its head right here. We weren't sure, at least I wasn't sure, if Mordekaiser was going to be enough to win the game on his own. But as it turns out, he absolutely can. New information. Mordekaiser can do it. This is great. This is great news. Is going that kind of goofy. Does have the Hex Plate, which is, of course, as we know, an attack damage item. But it does reduce your cooldown on your ultimate ability, which is what they're looking for here, as that's going to be Ruffian taken not off the map quite yet. Actually, we'll be taking 2 others off the map. I thought that was for certain, but nothing's for certain in life.
Yeah, unfortunately, Last Force only has 2 items, or 2.5 items. Kaisa has 3.5 and had ulti and flash. So once Last Force blew everything, wasn't a whole lot. Kill the Kaisa, and it should be a free Baron now for them. Dinner might die,
should.
though. Dinner will die, though.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Smuddler here, and that actually getting the Smuddler there does keep a Baron off the map. So already that's 1 member of the Wolves who will not have that buff, but still gonna be a bit of time here. I will say keeping Smuddler off the map, keeping desynced from Ruffian, again, does make their job a little bit easier if they decide to go for a fight. But I don't know if they really want to go that far out, because Jax can very easily start claiming some objectives if given the time. It's what the classic Jax split push of ye olden days, even though he's in jungle, does have the Triforce, could still theoretically make it happen.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see what the Wolves are able to push with their Baron now. I don't imagine a whole lot would be happening. We'll probably just be waiting for the next dragon to spawn, unless some more. Actually, I retract that statement. Some fight's gonna just start out of nowhere, and then we'll pretty much see if the Raptors are able to kill the Kaisa at this point. Small does a little bit, but it's really all the Kaisa at this point. Kaisa lives, they win. If Kaisa dies, they lose.
It's that easy.
Yep, just kill the Kaisa. Easy.
Yeah, and it does not look like Ruffian is going to heed your advice to pick up a stopwatch, and instead, I guess it could become a stopwatch, now that I think about it. Theoretically, the chain vest, or I guess the cloth armor.
It could be a stopwatch or Guardian's Angel.
Yeah.
See? Either are fine.
Alright, the Owl will be taken into the Death Realm here, flashing the Obliterate. Vacant Tech gonna get quite a bit of damage on to the Jax, who reappears into the Nature's Grasp right now. The lights are out. Smuddler cannot see a single target right here, but this is a target-rich environment, as now Toch Pizza will claim 1 with the hook. Dira gonna be next to be targeted. 1 traded back by Murdervox, getting that burn down, but otherwise, that's gonna be only 2 left. Grand Skyfall going to collapse in onto Murdervox, who decides to Black Shield Dira, but Dira will drop, not making the right move like a deer in headlights. And that's going to be a 4 for 2 and a turret going over to the side of the Wolves.
Yep, that was I think a bit of a mistake for Vacant. Got a good chunk on the Jax, but decided to flash forward to try to finish off the Jax, which ended up getting him, but the Kaisa again was just able to hit there and kill the Mordekaiser. So I think it would have been fine if just getting the chunk on Jax and leaving bygones be bygones. But instead, the fight turns out to be a disaster. 2 turrets, kills. The gold lead grows again.
The gold lead grows. It continues to expand, I suppose, as taking a look at some gold differentials here. The Ashe is still so incredibly far behind the Kaisa that it's not even funny. But what is funny is that David may be in a bit of danger here. The rest of the wolves have arrived. This Drake is up soon, and they've got control of the river.
Yep, they got control. Dragon spawning here, and so we'll see how this fight goes. The wolves have a decent setup here. They're gonna start out, probably try to burst in. We'll see if Lust Force is gonna be able to win the smite.
Okay, Light's going out right now. Mom's gonna go down. Lust Force does not win the 50-50. That coin has landed at tails, as now Vacant Tech gonna try and trade one back into Coach Pizza, but these supports are too tanky nowadays. Will claim the one, but get blasted away as Ruffian going in with the killer instinct, more like the killed instinct as it seems, but it does not matter. You only need one carry to win this game, and you got two of them. Might as well let one be a little bit of an engaged tool. But there are no waves. Okay, there's a wave in mid. Bot wave's a little bit funky, and top wave looks like it's going to be pushing in. So there's some options.
Yeah, if they could start his flash from the other fight, could have flashed in, ult the Jax there, and let Let's Force be able to get the dragon, and Ruffian having a little bit of fun, had the hourglass, jumping in, seeing what happens, and it's gonna be some kills on the inhib for it, but good plays for the wolves. Not much the Raptors can do. The Nocturne doesn't scale that well, so got a bunch of kills, but unfortunately, Nocturne can't really kill anybody in the backline without help at this point, so
yeah,
it's looking a bit rough for them.
It's the Nocturne dilemma, where if you build the damage items necessary to actually be a threat in the late game, you die instantly.
Yep.
But you gotta go in, so you gotta build these tank items, but if you build the tank items, you don't actually kill anybody unless you have backup. And unfortunately, there just really isn't kind of a dive partner for the Nocturne here. The best person to go in with Nocturne is Maokai, and you just kind of hope that dropping Morgana puddles will be enough of a threat to allow Nocturne to finish out here. Speaking of threats, we're going to be throwing everything to kill Coach Pizza to death, and he will fall. Those are that's a couple of big cooldowns burned. Enchanted Crystal Arrow will land on 2. Duolingo Owl, Mom's gonna get called, gonna do not that much damage to Locket, gonna deny quite a bit of that, but Dinner is still on fire here. Duolingo Owl over the wall, trying to get a little bit of space to survive, as Ruffian has arrived and will just try to tear it up. Duolingo Owl on the back, Vacant Tech will be claiming one, but will be dropping as the Kaisa has now completed the final transformation into the ultimate boss monster on the Rift. Claiming another, it's only Murder Vox left, but if you're going to have one gamer left alive to clear minion waves, I suppose Morgana is the best one to do it, but can't do nothing against this Baron, which is going over to the Wolves.
Yeah, decent fight for Raptors. They got the pick on the Coach Pizza there in the beginning, but
that was funny. Yeah, that was a little scary.
Yeah, just in that last fight, Dinner did so much damage. They all grouped up, got hit by the smolder bubble there, and just did so much damage before Ruffian even arrived. Ruffian was able to just clean up at that point. Still a pretty close fight.
Yeah,
but unfortunately they're just down too much.
Yeah, the carries on the side of the Raptors are just so far behind the other side of the map that it makes it extremely difficult. You're relying a lot on Mordekaiser, it just in the back existing, to be that threat. Because Mordekaiser can get back there, but it's just so difficult to actually convert with it because, again, Mordekaiser puts himself into a 1v1 scenario, and if your 4 don't win, then you kind of just lose bigly. You have the good engage right now as the Grand Skyfall is going to go over. Some time bought by Duolingo Owl with the Zanyas, but not quite enough. But there's enough time for Ruffian to go in, and with dinner, both carries alive, both carries claiming victory together over the Raptors.
Yep. It finally got to the point where Mordekaiser ulted the Kaisa and just got two shot by the Kaisa, so that is going to spell the game as the most fed member was able to kill the Kaisa. And a very fun game to watch here. 30 to 44, 74 kills.
Yeah, that was a fun game. I thought it was going to be very depressing, but big ups to the Raptors, who did a really nice job of keeping themselves in the game for as long as possible. Uh, could have been a little, could have been was definitely could have been better. You know, things could have improved, but otherwise, a good effort from both teams and a good showing from the big carries on the side of the Wolves. Any big gamers, your star gamers of this match?
Well, I'm gonna go with the I'll go with the bot lane for the Wolves. They just ran over the game from start to finish just about. It's quite a force, and for the Raptors, I'll give some of the vacant.
I would agree.
The only reason I stayed in.
I would agree. I think that that's fair. Lust Force was able to start finding some stuff, but I mean, your Nocturne, you can get on targets very easily. That's what the champion does. But yeah, like you said, Ruffian and Coach Pizza just completely took control of bot lane, and there was just no hope from there. So
Yep.
we're going to go to a break as we get set up our next draft. We'll be back in however long it takes to make that happen. See you then. Mic muted. Smiley face. Looks like we are in the draft here for this next game. Wait. Am I in the wrong lobby? I'm in the right. I'm in the lobby that I need to be in, right? Hello? I'm going to assume this is the right lobby. Yeah, no, this is the lobby I have the draft for. I just got another invite to a different lobby. So I'm gonna deny that one. This is now a solo Becky stream, which are worse. Because I will get sidetracked. Oh, I should be in the game with Frog Guy in it. I thought it was a different game. Is it not? Here 6 second. Oh. Well. Frog Guy, can you re-invite me? I'm in the wrong game. Oh my god. Well, we can watch this draft. Just do that one? Alright, we're just doing this one. Never mind. We're going to the Frog Guy lobby. Sorry, Memer Sticks. You get... Fuck you, Memer Sticks, actually. Alright. Nah, we fixed it. Let's let me figure this shit out. Hold up. They have one in bathroom. I'm gonna fucking scream. All right, excellent. We're in the draft for real this time. For real. On God, for real. In the correct lobby for the correct game, which is going to be Elder versus Mountain. And I should not have closed out of the master sheet because now I don't know who I am looking at. There we go. So Elder in their last game, they lost their first game. Mountain ended up winning their first game. So, the Elder players looking to get a good showcase in this one, whereas Mountain looking to keep their evening running hot. So we have some pretty, I was gonna say pretty standard bans, and then like I used the rest of my brain and noticed that Zoe was banned, and have decided that no, this is not standard. What we are banning Zoe to target a specific gamer, somewhere on the Rift. Smudler is not, that's Syndra. I just cast a game with a lot of Smolder action, so I'm thinking about Smudler. So we do have the Ahri, the last ban here, just denying a couple mid laners out. On the side of Elder, taking the Ambessa away from Mountain. Probably a smart choice. B1 Jinx, the classic. When we have no better plan, we B1 Jinx. It is that easy, y'all. We just pick up Jinx for our attack damage carry. I will say, a lot of players I don't recognize in this lobby in particular. We've got on Elder, we have, of course, the one, the only, T. Wayne, a phenomenal gamer of great accord. But otherwise, a lot of fresh faces. So we'll see how this goes. And if I have cast a game with them, I don't recognize them. Sorry, y'all. Mountain gonna go for the Lushi, the Lushi Namian bot lane here. Elder going for the Arcane Bat Chest combo. We're gonna pick up Victor here and Jace next. So we can really, we're gonna try and get them to like fall over themselves. Okay, actually this is the 2x KO strategy we're going for here. We're picking up all the champions from 2x KO. That's actually where we're going with this. The Morgana, saw that last game. It was a little disappointing, a little underwhelming, but I suppose it functioned well enough. We'll see what our next round of bans have in store for us. Mountain getting to ban the Syndra as well. They thought about banning that in round 1. Now they're just going to commit to banning that. Are they just going to keep targeting mid laners? They might just keep targeting mid laners. That would be very sad if you were a mid laner to see all those champions targeted. And there's another one, y'all. That is quadruple mid lane bans from Mountain. They are afraid of Brady, as it seems. And Galio, they are very afraid of this mid lane. Still plenty of options available, though, especially since they have picked the Galio. That could be going into a couple of different spots. Because they have the Nami, that shows that, I mean, Nami can't go anywhere else. So they're currently flexing the Galio and the Morgana, which will be a little interesting. The Morgana likely is jungle. Galio... I see we have picked Heimerdinger. Never mind, this was Arcane the whole time. I should have known. I knew it was Arcane. I never doubted it. Yone. Alright, so Elder has now just selected champions that they think are funny, which I think is a good strategy, personally. Whereas Mountain are now going to think about what they do here. I will say I don't necessarily know where Heimer and Yone are going to go because they are still flexible. The Xerath will reveal all, though, as that is going to indicate if that is locked in. Okay, yeah. So that is going to be Xerath in the mid lane, Galio in top, Morgana in the jungle, Lucian Nami bot. Or likely, I think they're going to send a Xerath to deal with Heimerdinger. If I had to guess, that's the plan. And there are worse plans. I can't think of them currently, but there are worse plans. So, if you excuse the pun, obviously the Heimerdinger kind of throws a wrench into things in terms of how this game is going to play out. Hold up, we're resetting champ select. What happened, y'all? Where are your champs going? You first. Alright, we've got a debate here. Is there like a lane swap going on, or are we just like, fucking around? Is that legal? Is that, can you do that? Is that not a crime? Okay. They're not revealing this info. They are not revealing this info. Xerath top, okay. Okay, alrighty. Yep. What if they just lied? I think that that's the strategy, personally. They didn't lie. This is not on the record. They did not lie. They did tell the truth, but I think it would be absolute fucking aura to just lie. Just be like, yeah, we're gonna send Xerath top lane, and then he goes mid. I feel like that's very very dishonorable, and I respect that, personally. Alright, so looking at the draft here. Now that we've settled this issue. Yone. Heimerdinger is always weird to think about because he plays his own game. I like to say that Heimerdinger plays kind of perpendicular to everyone else playing League of Legends. Like, most League of Legends champions, their goal is to kind of just all play in the same direction. Heimerdinger doesn't do that. Similar to, like, Singed or some of those other funky, like, Bozo champions, Shaco, where they don't actually play the game of League of Legends the way we expect them to. So it's hard to really kind of predict what this Elder comp is planning to do. If I had to suspect, it's probably just like a 4v5 where they send Heimer on the split, or they kind of send Heimer to they either send Heimer or Yone on the split, and then they have Heimer set up kind of just zone control for the Jinx, or they have Yone, Jinx, Braum, Vi as like a death ball, and they have Heimerdinger on the inside lanes pulling somebody aside. On the other side of the map, we do have Galio, who can ulti in on nobody, because there are no other melee champions. So I'm guessing the plan is Morgana just like full fucking sends it with ulti. And we just hope for the best. So with that said, I'm gonna go to a quick break because I don't have anybody else here, and I'm gonna sit and think about the fact that I chose to do this the day before I go back to work, and I'm gonna probably fall asleep during Game 3, but that's okay, I think. I'll see you back in about a minute and change. We are here in on the Rift, hot dropping into the action because that's where Riot put me. What the freak? Y'all? Any DDoSers? Any DDoSers in chat? What the hell? What? Y'all? Is anyone here? Is anyone seeing this? Is this just me? Any League of Legends gamers can confirm to me what the fuck is going on? Is it just spectate? That's like this? Yeah, let me, hold up. 1 second. So I'm gonna leave this here, just so that we are all aware of what's going on. Huh. Well, what's happening? Huh. All right. Well, there is an issue to solve, and it looks like I will be tasked to figure that out as the one guy, this production team, because everybody else is currently actually playing the game. All right, we are back. So there was just kind of a spectate issue. Believe it or not, these still happen. I know it's hard to believe because of how functional the client is, but it's true. It's true and real. So we've got two different teams now. I just need to figure out who the hell they are. It's Imperial and Ocean. Okay. Alrighty, perfect. And it's like nothing bad ever happened. It's like this is all planned, except I don't have the scoreboard up. So we're dropping into this game at about 8 minutes and 50 seconds, which is a lovely place to be. We have Giggle and friends going up against a bunch of names I don't recognize. Man, I'm out of things to say. I'm just kind of looking around. All right, we do have an engage right here. Laos Who was able to get a good denial there with the pulverize. Giggle and Name Invalid have set up quite a formidable EXP lead on bot side here as Panther gonna try and go in right there. We do have the chains going down. Will not get any stuns out as Panther will get dropped right now. Chase going to be realm warping in to try and bail out the rest of Ocean. But Redisol is there as well. And we've decided to watch a top lane fight for some reason, as now it looks like in that top lane skirmish, Sum's getting burned out by Trundle, as several gamers, 3 players on the side of Ocean will drop. And Imperials take a pretty sizable win down there. Which is, of course, great for the Kaisa, who has now picked up a significant amount of gold and has completed that first item, plus the bitchin' booties, which is always a good thing to see. I wonder if this is going to be... Sorry, I'm investigating. Okay. Nah, it's Cookie's magical footwear. It's a pussy mode shit, I see. I should probably not, I should probably be kinder. Although, I mean, I'm no long, I don't know if I'm being monitored. I'm also, whatever, man. So I'm just gonna say whatever I'm thinking. I'm gonna talk about whatever comes to mind. And what comes to mind here is, we have Nocturne. Y'all. A pretty slow game right now. Nocturne waiting on that paranoia, but might still just look to find something on the top side here. F equals gonna try and get this Trundle here. Will likely do so, and that is a freebie right there. Trundle getting just lured into that kill. No vision out. No idea that was going to happen. So now we do have an engage on the bot side here. Laos Who gonna get a really good pulverize, but this re-engage from Name Invalid and Giggle is going to be extremely dangerous. Just a dog getting forced out very far back there. Firing out the zap, trying to just get as much damage as possible on the backside here. Great hook from Name Invalid, but Laos is going to try and get a crazy maneuver. Mad Cow Disease is lethal, though, as Laos Who will drop. I like the concept there, but you're expecting a lot of damage to come out from this Jinx, who just does not have the items to make it happen. Especially into the Nautilus, who did have shield, has plenty of ways to get out, and now will just get a ton of damage here, and will, with Giggle, follow up and get another big one into the pocket of the Kaisa, who's got a couple of... Never mind, not gonna say what I was thinking. Be inappropriate. Anyways, we do have the second Drake getting picked up here for the side of the Imperials. Ocean looking a little worse for wear in this game, as the Cloud winds quicken. Why was that sound effect so disgustingly loud? There we go. Okay. I was hitting buttons I usually don't hit by accident.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Turret plating will fall soon, y'all. This is great news. Okay, Redisol not going to get caught by that Dark Binding. We'll just take a little bit of damage from the puddle. A little bit of annoying chip damage there from the Tormented Soil. You can hear pings going out on the separate abilities. Trying to just figure out, these players trying to just figure out what they want to do here. Looking at some sums, we do still have Trundle missing that flash. As we do have an engage on to Chase right here. Chase trying to get some shielding out, but Redisol gonna get the kill first, but that's gonna be a shutdown. Getting that kill allowed Chase to get a freebie shutdown. That's called bounty boosting. It's a good strat. So we do have a great set of chompers, but not good enough to stop the Nocturne engage. Giggle, not enough damage to beat the... never mind. The will is very breakable. It just requires time. And time was all that was needed, as Giggle will pick up one, picking up another couple on the bot side here, and getting some more assists into the Nocturne's pocket. This game, unlike the first game, which was very back and forth, this one is looking... I mean, first game was also pretty dominant like this for a while, but... You know, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to make any predictions. I think that we still have a game on our hands. Jinx, theoretically, although she is absolutely decrepit in this matchup, and is extremely far behind, does still scale. At this point, is it going to be enough to deal with Kaisa? No, but we can dream. We can dream and pretend and think about the way things were and the way things could be. F equals has stolen the Rift Herald, so we can't even get the buff here, as that's going to be a huge shockwave as Redisol and Oso clean up house. Name Invalid has arrived. F equals does drop, but that's going to be one for the emotional support and not quite for the piggy bank, as Panther and Laosu both fall. And most importantly, that Herald gets... Well, not the Herald. The, No, that was the Herald. Herald gets picked up by F equals. Can't drop it quite here, which is a little unfortunate. I will say, the full set of Grubbins went over to the side of Ocean sometime before we queued into this game. It's just me right now. I could turn my cam back on, but like I don't actually care that much. It's not my own stream. And out of respect for the Scuttle Crab Draft League, I will not bring up the horses. Even if this game starts to bore me. As we do have Panther gonna be in a little bit of danger right now. Will go down a lot of bit of danger as F equals picking up one on the Paranoia there. Good to always get one off of your ultis, as Laosu getting some resistance off of that Aftershock. Does have to pop the Unbreakable Will as well, but that is not enough to survive, as Giggle's got the attack speed shred fully loaded right here with the Gunblade, with the Kraken Slayer, It is extremely powerful, this Kai'Sa right now, as we do have a Shockwave, and that's going to be Chase. Going to get taken out right there. That's just a solo kill on bot, as it looks like currently Ocean is horribly outmatched on the Rift. Taking a look at some gold differentials while we have a moment. Unsurprisingly, it's across the board a gold lead. What I will say is Chase doing a decent job not giving up so much gold, or at least keeping up in farm. So we do have an engage right here on the Panther, who will get taken pretty low. Turret will get a reset onto the Jinx, with that Orianna damage is going to chunk out real hard right here. Oso on the bot lane is Oso okay as a Grimorbid. Okay, I see what the name is. Laosu gonna try and get something with the rocket there, but Just a Dog can't close the gap, and Just a Dog is gonna die like one as the Paranoia comes in. That's gonna be another kill into Laosu, who's just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Chase gonna try and get something on the side here. Locket's gonna go out. Retisol will drop. Panther gonna try and close the gap as the Realm Warp will go through, force a little bit of unfavorable pathing on the bot side, as Oso gonna get nearly taken out by the Pillar Man under turret. F equals will get popped there by the Dark Harvest on the Morgana. And yeah, well, they do end up getting sent back to base, or at least sent away here. There's just not a whole lot for the side of Ocean to do. They get an objective, so that's a bounty. That's good for them. But they're really going to be looking for perhaps these Drakes. The Drake is likely their best bet to start getting some value back into the game. They do have Morgana, who is pretty effective at clearing this stuff, but it's only one champion, and she is currently unable to actually make things happen on the Rift. If I was making my prediction pre-game, I'm not going to do that. I mean, Ori Nocturne is a classic combo. Combine that with the hard lockdown of the Nautilus, and, you know, you've just got Renekton is here, smiley face, and participating. But that four-man kill squad of Nocturne, Ori, Kai'Sa, Nautilus is extremely dangerous, especially with the lead they have currently. I likely would have still favored the side of Ocean, just because I am always wrong with my predictions. As, yeah, Imperials get the Drake, they lose the Renekton, but Renekton's just here for moral support. Everyone, don't worry about him. He's here to make us all feel better. He's a funny crocodile. He goes, rah, 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 rah. That's a Renekton line. He's French. As we know, Renekton is canonically French. If you don't believe me, look it up. And that might inspire some, I don't know, some confidence. But really, like, in the current state of the game, Oso could just be like a siege minion, just right-clicking around, auto-attacking turrets, and would provide as much value. Mostly just the value is keeping a gamer away from the rest of the map, and allowing the extremely accelerated Imperials four-man squad to do whatever they want. They got the Otacon there, they got the third Drake, and it is a... The gold is more even than you would expect, but it is still very, very much weighed in favor of the Imperials currently. And I'm going to click the X button to show, never mind, we do have an engage right here. Paranoia is going to be going in onto Just a Dog, who will drop. Giggle will arrive. We do have the Zhonya's going down, trying to get a little bit of damage here. Giggle does get stunned up, but there's absolutely no follow-up, as Rise is not there. Trundle is too far away, and Jinx died an hour ago. So that is going to be a colossal death A big loss once again for the side of Ocean, as the Imperials are going to try and keep things going, but we'll see how the siege goes. It doesn't. That's how the siege goes. Realm Warp gonna come in here as Grimorbid gonna be able to pick up one. Okay, yeah, the Super Mega Death Rocket will claim that. I am absolutely okay with money going into the pocket of the Jinx, because if you look at the gold, it is still about 1,000 ahead for the Kaisa. Very least, because the farm has been still pretty stable, the only real big farm differential is in the jungle, and you can see that gold both in kills and in CS. But otherwise, it's actually not so bad, as Just a Dog will not get caught out by the hook there. Oh, Redisol. Oh, Redisol. Ooh, a little too late on that one. Crisis averted. Just a Dog would have died horribly there if they were discovered in the bush. But they do get to live another day. And that day will bring them to the Drake, which is coming up in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. That is quite a long time, because there is still a lot of a mountain to climb here for the side of Ocean. Grimorbid will it'll hit up a little bit here. Panther doing a little bit of damage. So I think it's fine here that we kind of just slow the game down, wait for this next Drake. It's Soul, it's a big objective, and there really isn't a whole lot that Ocean can do to pressure you. If you're on the side of Ocean, you're definitely fishing for something here. You have Binding, but that's like your only tool. Maybe you have Laos Hu find a crazy maneuver and find somebody just kind of asleep at the wheel. Giggle maybe sort of feeding himself to the enemies right here. Giggle, what are you doing, my guy? Giggle, my scro, where are we going? Okay, we're fine. TP gonna come in from Chase here. They are all gonna set up for this Drake right now. They actually do have a window of opportunity. They don't know that Oso's not here, though. So they could try and take this now, but Renekton is right around the corner, and in fact, there he is. Lights are going to go out. Who will Nocturne go in on? Good vision denial, but that's going to be a huge combo successfully executed, and a full party wipe is inevitable, as that is 3 taken down. Laosu and Chase limping away right now. Never mind. Laosu will get dropped there by the anchor, weighing him down. And that was a flawlessly executed combo from Orianna and Nocturne. And that's why you pick those champions, you know? That's why you pick them. You pick them for this scenario where everything is good, everything is great. I just realized the status of the channel I'm in right now is still that I am AFK. But that is obviously not true. Although I will have to step away between games, although I don't want to. So if both teams are ready, I won't step away. I don't even know what game I'm streaming next, honestly. We're going to try and get the Memer 6 game last. We'll see how that goes. Currently about 5k gold lead for the side of the Imperials. just total map domination right now. The top lane, Grim Orbit's done what Trundle does. So, you know, it's a mission successful, I suppose, but it is still a little depressing. Trying to think of what are options here. If I am Ocean, what am I thinking about other than the fact that I hate League of Legends? If I'm Chase, I'm crying. That's one. The lights are out. That's just an easy pick, as Oso on the side, once again, doing their job of just kind of keeping Trundle busy. Well, this Trundle is pretty scary. They will have to send somebody to help Oso out, because Trundle is just going to ignore this champion, which I think is funny. We're going to try and go for the fight here. Will get dropped, so that's Trundle trading themselves for the turret, but that is a very long death timer to be waiting for, as Panther's going to try and go over the wall, go for the flash, but there is nothing to be done. That is a 50-50 that you are never going to win in any world, including this one, as Just a Dog will get another turret bounty, but they are going to be running for the hills, but the hills will not see them find success. There's just no way out here. So many gamers are just on top of them. They traded their lives for an inner turret, but that is, I don't know if I'd call that a good trade, but it is what we would call a trade nonetheless. Let's see if there's anything going on in chat. Nope. Nobody chatting this game. Lights going out as Oso will get some help from the Nocturne. F equals going to take out the only actual threat on the side of Ocean. And that means that the whole of the map is just cracked wide open here. We're going to see a potential engage on to the top side here as Oso is going to get targeted up by a lot of CC, but the damage just is not there to follow up. Jinx is on 3 items, but it's 3 items into some gamers that do not matter, as that's going to be a second inhib picked up by the side of the Imperials. They absolutely can. Wow, that is a great pick there from Redisol. Another great pick. These hooks from Name Invalid are incredible right now. As Giggle gonna go for a little bit of a saucy maneuver, but will not find anything there other than victory, which I suppose is a good consolation prize at the end of the day. Try and pad the stats here, look as good as possible for the, you know, on the post-game screen as we pick up a successful ace here as the Imperials absolutely mop the floor with Ocean. Let's take a look at that post-game. Hopefully we can just get into the next one pretty quick. I'll fuck around with that later. So yeah, here's some numbers. You like them? I like them. So we'll be back shortly. All right, we're back. Here, hot dropping into the draft for our final match of the night that we are showing on this stream, at least, between the Centine semicolon S and the Scuttlers. We have the Nefiri, just B1 Nefiri. We're just dropping it on the table, flopping it out there. You'll love to see it. Trying to find some music here. All right. Okay, so we have... Oh, now this is a game where we are just picking some absolutely gamer champions. The Mel's a little bit of a snoozer, but the Kayn will be absolutely a fascinating choice. We'll see how it goes. The Kai'Sa, I've been seeing a lot of that one tonight. Is the champion good or what? It will not actually be Kai'Sa, it'll be Nautilus. Okay. So Nautilus does not really reveal a whole lot. The Renata, I think, is a good pickup into it because a lot of what you'll want to pick with Nautilus does get kind of annoyed or flipped on its head by the Renata Glosk. So I like that choice. I think it's an interesting... I think it's a kind of a heads-up decision there to try and just cut off the Nautilus at the pass. But we might as well just put some of these lane partners into the fucking dumpster. Wouldn't be surprised to see the Kai'Sa drop. Never mind, we're going to see the Ashe. Still could see the Kai'Sa drop. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. Kai'Sa could see the Jinx drop, although maybe you want to play into the Jinx with what you have currently. Okay. Yeah, I think you're okay with the Jinx, or maybe you're looking at it yourself. There are still some 80 carry options, as we have the Swain getting banned away is certainly like a targeted choice. Same with the Ambessa, just taking out some strong champions that are annoying to play against. Now we are on our last round of picks. See what they have in store. That was a horrible loop, by the way. I'm manually looping this song on my other monitor. The Zeri! Okay, I like that. I like it as like this is a champion I think is cool. I don't know if it's a champion that is good in this particular game, because I think you just get jumped on and die horribly. Granted, you have Renata to kind of bail you out. Theoretically, at least. But we'll see. Maybe Mel is a juicier target. Okay. Yeah, that's not too surprising. If we're just looking at, like, good 80 carries, Jinx was one of the last ones still on the table. So... forced into a corner there, picking up the Jinx, which is a good-ass champion, but is certainly something that Renata Glosk is fine playing into, because Jinx is somebody who can shred her own team in the right scenario, and we're dropping it on the table with the blind Fiora the absolute disrespecter for the Scuttler top laner. Fright Arrow asking Unkindness to answer a puzzle here. What are you picking into Fiora? And we are opting not to play the game. We are opting not to play Fiora's game. Now this is excelente. Okay, very range heavy on the side of the Scuttlers. Which could be bad, could be good. My heart is leaning towards bad. But I like Zeri, I like Vladimir. I think Kayn is a fucking ass cheeks champion that I never want to see in any of my games. Just an absolutely cursed draft pick. But I've been proven wrong about Kayn before, and maybe I'll be proven wrong here. On the other side, aside from the Nefiri, actually, I was going to say, we have like a normal bot lane on the side of Sentinels, but we also have just some absolutely fucking filthy champions that are designed to kill the opponent, which is going to be a little tough because you have to try and kill Vladimir, and you're all diving into Renata Gloss ulti. So while there really is not a strong frontline presence from the side of Scuttlers, which would theoretically open up a window of opportunity for these assassins to go crazy, I think just the fact that they have to play around that Renata Glosk is going to make things a little bit more difficult. With that said, though, I don't know. I can't vote for Kayn. I think Kayn is... I mean, there are some fascinating choices here for the Scuttlers, but I don't know. I feel like, man, this is a tough call. I'm really like mentally back and forth here. I feel like you don't blind pick Fiora unless you know something I don't. All right, I'm gonna lay down my prediction. I have been wrong. Let me check the result for the game I was supposed to watch that I did do a prediction for. Which was... they actually have not finished their game. Well, in any case, I think that I'm just gonna believe in the Sentinels here. That's what I'm gonna do. I think that's a choice. Is it the good choice? Probably not. But I'm gonna predict them to win because I want them to. I don't want Vladimir to succeed in life. So I'll be back in about 2 minutes when we're in on the Rift. We are in on the Rift for our last game of the night. Sentinels going up against the Scuttlers.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Memer Sticks and the rest of the rest of the Scuttlers are gonna just try and get a little bit of something in the bot side, but not gonna find anything. The rest of the map, we're just gonna see a 5-point here. Court JJ gonna get some early vision, but that 5-man rush on bot is gonna reveal at least a little bit of info as to where Kayn might be starting. Obviously, I think if you're playing into Kayn, knowing where he's going to be, roughly around on the map is good info. Because he is going to be trying to look for some early ganks. He's going to be trying to look for some early fights when his champion being not a champion is not nearly as detrimental. But it's not too surprising to see him just go for the Raptors here. Like, Kayn just takes the Raptors super quickly. There's no reason not to go for it unless something has gone horribly wrong. So that's info that they kind of are just going to accept here. What matters is what they do with it. On the other side of the map, though, Court JJ gonna be not no info on where Court JJ could be. Will it make a difference? Probably not, but we can pretend. One thing, the matchup I'm most interested in is this top lane matchup. Unkindness on the Vladimir into this Fiora. This is a pick I would do because I don't like playing into Fiora, and I tell myself, oh, I'll just pick a mage and not interact with her. And then she stabs you to death several times. This is why I don't play top lane. There's a Squantan? Squantan. I'm going to say that that's how you pronounce that. Squantan, they're going to just get a little bit of damage here onto the Jakester as... Yeah, that's a lot of damage. Diana taking a little bit of punishment here in the mid lane. Top lane currently in favor of the Fiora. All lanes looking up. Okay, never mind. Lanes kind of just bouncing back and forth a little bit right now. Zeri getting a little bit of an early lead over the Jinx. Kind of surprising. I know Jinx is really weak in the early game, but so is Zeri. So, kind of just Dryan playing better than Cyclone in the current moment of the game. We'll see what Tiny Shoes can get done, because that is where a lot of the money is going to be made down here, is off of this Nautilus. We've seen tonight already several Nautilus engages that have just been phenomenal. Is Squantan going to get reflected right there. Both of our junglers kind of just going for their, finishing up their clears now at around 340. Kayn on to the Crab. We'll see where to decide to go with it. Kayn could look for something. We do have an engage on the bot side here. Memer 6 going to get hit by the hook. Looking a little worse for wear as the shock laser will hit nothing down there, but it will look cool as Court JJ going to pop out the angry rage mode. Doing a little bit of damage into efficiency, dropping some bleed. Going to try and get some damage out here. Ooh. Failing the dash over the wall as efficiency is going to get mauled to death. The little dogs are going to go crazy here. Squanathan will get a kill themselves. Dipping under turret and diving out as Unkindness on the top side going to get their own kill. I thought that this was going to be Fiora favored, but Unkindness has turned it around and forces Fiora to get in a really early Executioner's Calling. That is a depressing thing to have to purchase. It's a smart purchase, but depressing nonetheless. We have the Chompers going out here. Memer Stick's going to get Ignout, taking quite a bit of damage, but Dryan's going to try and fire back. The bailout is on, but the barrier is also there, and there will be no one bailed out in the bot lane as Dryan will drop. And now Memer Sticks limping away, barely getting out of dodge. Efficiency will get cut up in the jungle as Court JJ will flash in and get that one for themselves. This Nefiri taking efficiency to the dog pound this game. The dog house, maybe. Uh, no, that's bad. That's a bad one. Let me workshop it. I'll get back to you on a better way to word that in like 3 minutes. Put him in the doghouse? No. More like the Inhumane Society? No. What you don't see here, because my cam is off, is I'm currently flipping through all of my pages of dog-related puns, because I never get to see Neferi. Ooh, can we talk about... Oh, is it shot caller time? Do we talk about that? I mean, Court JJ doesn't have the shot caller here, as you can see. But... That's... Anyways, Kane is down here in the bot side, looking to try and make something happen. We'll go off of the counter engage here as Tiny Shoes will get cut up with Cyclone. Cyclone first to drop. Dryan picking up that one as Efficiency will get some souls in their pocket. Always good to see. Unfortunately, we do not get a soul tracker as the audience here in Spectate. The technology is still not there to see when what Kane's soul progress. So we'll just have to kind of imagine roughly where he's at. He's not done a whole lot of skirmishing, so I imagine he's still a decent bit of ways from achieving either of his two forms. We'll have to just kind of keep an eye on that. A crazy hook from Tiny Shoes there, but the lightning crash out will go to try and return fire here as Dryan is absolutely nutso crazy right now. And Tiny Shoes gonna try and limp out of this one. Will be safe under the turret because Dryan and Memer6 just don't have the resources to make a dive happen. So Tiny Shoes will survive, but that is another pickup for Dryan, and that is absolutely the gamer that you want to have money in the pocket of. As we have an engage here from coming out from Squantan, trying to get some chopping down onto the Jakester, but not quite enough damage. Just gonna chunk him out a little bit here as Efficiency has decided to just go for the Drake, realizing there's not much better to do in life, as Squantan has successfully is scrying orbed nothing. Nothing of value, at least. So that Drake will go over. No trades on the map, although I imagine we'll see... no, Court JJ's camps are coming up on bot side, so... already up on bot side, so likely we will not see those grubbins picked up quite yet. We are sending Tiny Shoes up there, though, so... I imagine that's in the game plan, but if you're sending Tiny Shoes up here, you probably want Court JJ on the move much sooner. I don't know, I feel like if you're Court JJ, you have your top cams coming up, you just kind of abandon ship on bot side and go for that top side trade. Like, obviously this Kane is behind enough that he's not going to be able to clear up into it. You have a little bit of extra time to work with, but I feel like you could theoretically get that trade, but I don't know, we'll see. I think getting the farm's not bad either, especially because we're setting up for something on the bot side here. No vision. Will Memer6 fall for the oldest trick in the book? Place your bets now. Will you hit your parlay tonight? Okay, we do have the engage coming out right here as Memer6 will in fact drop. The bailout will only delay the inevitable, as that is a killing spree for Court JJ on the Neferi. If you bet that Memer6 was going to fall for the oldest trick in the book, congratulations. I don't think you pay out there because you didn't walk into the bush. I don't think we pay that one out. Another major objective, though, on the bot side here, the lightning crash out from Dryan will successfully clear the wave, as we're just going to get some pot shots into the Nautilus's backside. But maybe we're going a little bit too far forward. The barrier's popping. We're going to get the Abyssal depth charge where the bailout's going to come in. Can we get the reset right here? Cyclone getting over the wall. Enough sums to keep themselves alive. Dryan putting in a hero's effort, but dying a hero's death. And on the top side, the Grubbins to go over to Court JJ, and Efficiency only ends up picking up 1, despite having plenty of time and free reign to make that happen. Do you have an engage here? AL, the Jakester, gonna be jumped on. Will flash successfully as Unkindness, gonna go for the fight down here, pooling the grand challenge. Fiora will not complete the challenge as Vladimir wins that exchange. Once again, 2-0. A lot closer this time around. So we get a little bit of breathing room here. Take a moment to stay hydrated, folks. I'm going to be regretting this tomorrow. For many reasons. But I likely wouldn't have been falling asleep until like 11 o'clock anyways, so. I gotta not play Ball Pit. Anybody play Ball Pit? The new hot indie game. If this was my own stream where I was scuff streaming a game, I would definitely have it up for when the games get boring. Last game probably would have pulled up Ball Pit a couple of times. No horses today though. I've actually not played the horse game in a while. I'm waiting for some, like, actual content to be released. Like, we know it exists. They're still drip feeding us. So we have an engage down here on the bot side. Memer Sticks gonna get the takeover right there. The hostile takeover will be successful as Cyclone will drop, but will manage to get Memer Sticks on the backside here as Efficiency will get cut up. We are going to ulti in. That is ill-advised. That was an ill-advised maneuver from the Kayn. We do have Rost ready, so that's good news. What's bad news is that Dryan is dead. This Neferi is 5-0 right now. Arcane has Voltaic Cyclosword. Alright. Okay, excellent. So we do have the Rost this game. As I always say, there are 2 Kayn forms. There's Red Kayn and Bad Kayn. Not that Blue Kayn is bad, but it is definitely less flexible. You need specific game states for Blue Kayn to be a viable option. And with the comp that the Scuttlers have, they absolutely need Red Kayn to give them some kind of front line, give them some kind of additional tank threat. I will say, picking up the Vladimir and the Kayn is giving so much value to the anti-heal items, because of the fact that both of these champions utilize so much healing in their kits. And even Zeri eventually will pick that up, as Fiora's going to die again. This is an 0-3 Fiora. Vladimir... Is this a Vladimir carry? Is this the Vladimir carry angle? Can somebody elucidate me on this informations? Is this the Vladimir carry? I think it could be. Okay, so we do have an engage being set up here. On the side, you see on the back here, Court JJ is going to try and get on the Dryan right now as the rest of the fight is being taken out here. Dryan will jet set radio over the wall to try and get some chip damage out as Mel popping the ulti here. The Jakester will get something done as Court JJ will pick up 1 onto Memer Sticks, but that's actually the rest of... yeah, I mean, that's the rest of the Sentinels falling, as it's only Fright Arrow on the top side and Court JJ who had to recall and get out of dodge, as the second Drake will get picked up for the side of the Scuttlers, as we have a Mountain Rift this game. Mountain would be very good for the Sentinels, or for both teams, but especially for the Scuttlers, because that shield will allow them to negate a lot of that insta pressure from the Nefiri, from the Diana, and even that early burst from the combo set up by the Nautilus here, as Fright Arrow will perish once again. Say goodnight, everyone. Memer Sticks, however, is going to get caught out here. Going to pop the Locket to avoid some damage. Taking some dots, but will not die. And that is a very alive Renata Glosk.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Turret picked up. Dryan, I think, will be fine here. Okay, gonna have to get the Lightning Crash out here, as we'll find some backup, but now efficiency may be a little bit too far forward. Will not get Court JJ on that one, just not enough range, and that is horrific for the Kayn, who has once again fallen. But now Unkindness going to try and clean up here with Memer Sticks. That is a 7-0 Vladimir. This is a very scary Hemomancer on the Rift. Hemomancer, you know what I'm saying? Anyone? Hemomancer? Is that funny? Is any of this funny? Make sure to stay hydrated, everyone. I'm going to take another... Enjoy my beverage. I'm checking the match reporting right now. We've got a slow moment. So the Elder Mountain game we were supposed to stream was actually a Heimerdinger sweep, as expected. Jakester is just going to absolutely destroy Squantan, horrifically murder them as efficiency. We'll pick up that Herald. Unfortunately, the Kayn is, like, turbo useless, but that, I think, is fine because of how the rest of your team's doing all right. Jakester is going to get caught out on the side here. We'll just try and fire back as much damage as possible. Don't bother flashing. You're going to die. And we flashed anyways, and now efficiency is going to die under turret. Okay, never mind. We do pick up Cyclone there, so that's a big win. Kayn should be able to get out of dodge here, as Fright Arrow will fall once again. Wave goodbye, everyone. Never mind. Efficiency will not get out of here. They do not have the ability to get through the walls, as Squantan will pick up that one. Sharing the love, respectable from Court JJ. Making sure to get some gold onto other gamers here on the Rift. I do respect that. Because this is not going to be a... This is Nefiri versus Vladimir, and I don't necessarily like Nefiri's odds.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Hold up. Was there chatting going on? No, we just have like a surprise, a shocked face from Dryan. Colon O. Colon capital O. Otacon has spawned on to the Rift right now. Drake's going to get started. Unsurprisingly, it's going to get started by the Scuttlers. The rest of... No TP in here from Fright Arrow, but what's Fiora going to do? It's going to be a 4v5. Will the 4-man squad be strong enough? I doubt it. even with the gold deficit that efficiency is under right now, it does not matter. Mega Death Rocket will fire out here. Efficiency, just fishing for something here. They can look for this 4v5 fight, but they do have to respect the Fiora. And there will be no respect given. Alright, question mark ping is now going down onto the Fiora, as that is 2 turrets picked up by this champion. And now we're gonna... I really like this decision here. Start the Otacon and force them to play the dickheads game. Okay, never mind. Fiora has abandoned hope. Fiora has abandoned ship, everyone. It's time to abandon the Otacon play. Never mind. Fiora has decided to continue the play. This is what we should have been doing the first time. Okay. We're going to keep the engage on here on the bot side here. Court JJ going to try and do as much damage as possible. Dry's just going to take one down. Tiny Shoes will drop. But on the top side, we have Fright Arrow, who has absolutely completed their mission and will be picking up a very early inhib for themselves. Memer Sticks and Jakester are here. I feel like if you're Fright Arrow, you just bouse it up and give your life over for the inhib. Don't even bother flashing. I'm pretty sure you're dead. Never mind, you're alive, actually. Court JJ gonna stop that Herald push on bot. We do still have the Otacon that is going to be taken eventually by these two, but that is the trade that they make. A very drawn-out play here across the map, but I think overall very smart from the Sentinels. I like the decision to kind of just play it slow and force the Scuttlers to either respond to the 0-5 Fiora, who is absolutely worth nothing in this game, or you lose quite a number of your objectives. And unfortunately, they just were kind of paralyzed by choice. I feel like as the Scuttlers here, you kind of just want to take the 4v4. But send literally anybody up to deal with Fiora, and it's probably fine. I think you could get away with, you know, sending Mel up there. Mel gonna get the reflector onto the Dredge line, but that is more just for emotional support than anything else. As Unkindness will try and clean up here, is getting the pool out. A lot of damage down onto Court JJ right now. Tiny Shoes will be next on the agenda. Still legendary here, 9-0 for this Vladimir. As Squantan will be the next target, walking into their own demise, opting into dying for absolutely no benefit. As on the bot side, we do have Fright Arrow just free hitting turrets for the entirety of the game. That's going to be another one there. Fortunately for the side of the Scuttlers, they did get another turret on top side. So it's not like they're completely shut out in terms of the turret objectives, but the Fiora has done a lot of work here. And Cyclone as well, I think, the smart kind of decisions to exploit the overcommitment from the Scuttlers have been interesting to see. But it is still very much like, in the fights that the Scuttlers are going to take, they always win. As long as they have Vladimir, they win. I do not know what the side of the Sentinels even have to stop that guy, because they have no CC. Their CC is Nautilus exactly, and Vladimir can just pool that. So, I mean, what do you do? We're going to see right now what they do. As Unkindness will get one. We're going to try and fight this one out. The ulti is already gone, though, so we're not going to see some healing anytime soon, as Efficiency has decided to go in to give them an extra kill. So we call a charity. Okay, now we do trade one back. We're resetting our gold value, so we give the maximum amount of gold to our opponents. That's not called efficient bounty boosting in this game. Importantly here, we actually had two big players die right before this Drake. We have our jungler up right now, So even though it's 2v3, Court JJ, I think, has a better shot of making things happen here. We do have Squantan now back up to provide some backup, but I feel like with Dryan not there, you just give over this Drake. It's just one. But it is time that now the Sentinels have bought for themselves. Time for Jinx to get more online. Time for Fiora to free hit turrets for a bit. Although there aren't too many turrets for her left for her to actually hit. At least easily hit. So I think obviously you send Fiora on the side. They make the smart choice here, which is kind of what I was thinking. Well, never mind. It's actually not the smart choice because Jakester will perish. It turns out 0 and 6 Fiora is still better than Mel's entire champion. So, you know, take that as you will. Maybe Mel on the side lane was not the right choice. Don't listen to me, y'all. As that is efficiency. Will have the bailout to keep him alive as Cyclone. Gonna get some damage out. Memer Stick's very low on the side here as Jinx is getting excited. Dryan will pop the barrier, but gonna have to flash as well to get out of that Super Mega Death Rocket. But on the bot side, not only did they win that fight, but they are absolutely getting pressure on the bot side as well. Nearly getting that turret. As there's nothing left, no bodies are here to stop this Baron, and the Sentinels making it happen. Very impressed. It was looking very dire. Unkindness does still have a tremendous lead, but the Vladimir champion is not without flaws. Whereas the Fiora champion is fully committed to the split push at this point, the Vladimir champion is absolutely committed to trying to make a 5v5 happen. But at the same time, the only champion that can really deal with the Fiora on the split push is the Vladimir. So you're kind of stuck in a pretty tough decision where, do you think your 4-man roster can beat their 4-man without your most fed gamer? And I don't think that's the case, as Jakester will get caught out here and drop immediately, and now Cyclone is excited once again. Efficiency gonna throw out the Kane W for just to say hello, as once again it's Unkindness and Dryan left alive and nobody else left on the Rift. Yeah, it's kind of the Fiora puzzle, everyone. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Stop my TP? Bozo. Smart decision from Unkindness here to try and get some maneuverability back on, trying to get some pressure back into the base. But it just still 2 gamers left alive. Unkindness is very fed, very dangerous, but does not have the tools. Doesn't have Rocket Belt either. So there's really no engage to be done as Dryan's on the backside here. Gonna try and stay alive. Pulled by Squantan. Okay, the hostile takeover will not be enough. Court JJ left alive. That's all you need. A dog's day is today, as Nefiri and friends will claim victory. Wow, that was an explosive ending. Cyclone looking very solid there at the end of that game. I will say very impressed, of course, with Court JJ, but I think the team as a whole, I think, played really intelligently around their win conditions, and exploited kind of the flaws within the draft put up by the Scuttlers. Like, obviously that Vladimir can win a 5v5, so you just never let him have one. And then what's he gonna do? Nothing. Absolutely useless champion. So, I mean, obviously that's exaggerating. Unkindness did a Herculean effort to try and keep that game there, but they just did not have the tools necessary to solve the Fiora puzzle in this game. Unfortunately for them. Otherwise, though, a great match from our 2 teams. We got some good games in. We got some solid matches for sure. With that said, I'm not going to waste any more time, any more of your time, any more of my time. Thanks for having me on. Scuttle Crab Draft League. Hopefully, you can find somebody else who's better at production than this. But it was nice to be here on my last day before I return to the salt mines and am not seen again until December. So have a good night, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the draft, which is going to be coming up. Be wary for that, and of course our first week of games, which will be coming at you next week. Have a good night. Have a good season, everyone.